You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba.
Back in the kitchen tonight with Gina Sunderland, Manitoba chicken, and we're on to recipe number 2 here with our Chicken Club Med theme, and this being the Mediterranean chicken stew. This is a recipe, I get the sense it's going to make you feel good in every way. It's healthy, it's hearty, and so looking forward to seeing all of the different flavors that go into this one, Gina.
Me too. This is just one of my absolute favorite recipes, Des. It's so delicious. So you start out with skin-on, bone-in chicken, about 3 pounds. I've used a combination of chicken breasts and chicken thighs, and we've just started the browning process here.
Yeah.
So you brown each side for about 3 to 4 minutes in a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
And once that's looking nice and brown, it's not going to be completely cooked. You remove the chicken from the pan.
Okay, so now we've got our chicken. It's browned, it's done, and so, or it's partially done browned. So now we're putting something in here at this point, right?
So the next step is we are going to add a little bit more olive oil into the pan. And then we're going to add some onion.
So peak of the market, of course, we've got our local veg.
We've got 1 large chopped onion, and then we've got about 4 cloves of garlic. I'm going to get you just to start stirring that for me. Perfect. And then we've got a teaspoon of dried oregano. And we've got some fresh thyme and some fresh rosemary.
Yeah, these kind of essential herbs for Mediterranean flavors, right?
Exactly. And half of a teaspoon of our chili flakes.
Ooh, okay.
So what we would do is we'd let that become translucent, that onion would cook, we'd get the fragrance from the garlic, but we don't have time for that, so we're just gonna speed things along a little bit. So that is looking good and it's smelling good. The next step is about half a cup of chicken broth, or you could use half a cup of white wine if you wanted to. All right. So one of the secret steps in this recipe is that we're going to use jarred tomato sauce. Just before we move on, I am going to have you do me a favor, and we are going to add some of our delicious vegetables. So we have...
I think I can handle that.
We have got 1 yellow pepper, and we've got 1 red pepper.
And again, peak of the market. So grateful to have this amazing produce here.
Yes, about 2 chopped carrots. We've got about 1 cup of our mushrooms, and just cut them in half, keep them nice and chunky. And the olives we reserve for the end. So once these vegetables have started to cook, they've started to reduce a little bit, then it is time for our flavor booster, which is about 650 ml jar of tomato pasta sauce.
Okay.
Yep, so we're just gonna pour that all in, and then get you to give that a little bit of a mixing up for me.
Any particular kind, like in terms of the flavor?
Whatever your favorite sauces, yep. And that is looking good. I'm gonna give us a little more heat there.
Okay.
Perfect, so this starts to reduce. And then what we do is we submerge the chicken right back into there.
Okay.
Yep, so here we go. Just tuck it all in, and I'll often brush the tomato sauce right on top of the chicken, and you just nestle it in there. And then the last step.
That looks so good. Look at how cozy it is. It's just like...
It's delicious. And as the vegetables cook and reduce, it is really delicious. You can just give this a little bit of seasoning with salt and pepper on the top.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The flavor element. And then the last step is you're going to add those olives in. So we've got 2 options here. You can add them in for about the last 10 minutes of cooking, or you can just scatter them across the top right now.
Okay.
So about half a cup of our pitted Kalamata olives. And now you've got 2 options for this stew. You can finish cooking it off on the stovetop. It takes about 60 minutes to cook. And I just like to tent it with foil, or if you have a glass lid, or my favorite way to do this, Des, is I set my oven to 375 degrees. I pop that Mediterranean chicken stew right in the oven, and I cover it and I walk away. And about an hour later,
So of course, one of the most critical things about chicken is making sure that it is cooked properly, Gina.
Right, and the best way to know that your chicken is properly cooked is to use a digital meat thermometer. So you insert the probe into the thickest part of the chicken meat, and for chicken parts like we're using this evening, or for ground chicken, it should be 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius. If you're gonna roast a whole chicken, it should be 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 82 degrees Celsius.
All right, so there we have it, our Mediterranean chicken stew. Certainly something we like to do with chicken is use every last morsel, and we're going to do that with our next recipe coming up. We have our chicken balsamic onion pizza. Can't wait here tonight. Manitoba Chicken here on Great Taste of Manitoba. Don't go away.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by Manitoba's farmers and ranchers. Local farms, local foods.